Hello, everybody. How are we doing? This is my podcast for the Slime Show right now. And I did the other one, and turned out pretty well. I got a lot of response back, and a lot of people said, can you do another podcast again? And I'm here to help you do it. I'm kind of winging this one. I'm doing these ones, I'm winging them so that, I don't have to edit as much, So anyway, because I edit a lot of my stuff on there. But it's not what I wanted to get to. I wanted to get to talk to you about two of my best friends, okay? Selina Desire and Sam Bukka. Well, some people don't know who they really are, but let's just say Selina and Richard Zellers. They have been with the Slime Show since the beginning. Well, not exactly the beginning. They came in later on. But they served as two of my best friends on that show. They were really they made me be a better person on there. Because, when it was just me and Joey, we were able to goof around and have a lot of great times and stuff like that. But then when you're up against Selina and, and Sam. But anyway, these two people they added a lot of excitement and a lot of creative views in there. One of my favorite sketches that we did was suntan tanning and salon. And if you don't get a chance to see that, you can see it on my webpage, or YouTube page, I'm sorry, and see what's going on with that, see if it's cool. Now, the history that goes back in there, it started out that Richard Zellers, or Sam Bukka, and I'm sorry, Selina, that I misspelled the character's name. It's Bukka, and I thought it was Bacca, and I got it wrong. So I was able to do something with it on the Facebook page. So anyway, Richard, we invited Richard to come on the show as like a musical guest. And he came on there and we got to talk with him, and me and Joey really liked him a lot. And we thought he was really good. He wasn't like a lot of the people that we have on our show. He's a lot different. First of all, he man's a genius when it comes to computers and all. So, but he really came a lot with a lot of other things. He's a hell of a good actor. He knows how to play music, and that was a great thing, because me and Joey, we can do as many sketches as we want, but it's always a bonus if there's somebody that we're working with knows how to play not just an instrument like Joey does, but Sam also knew, he could act. So we actually got a bonus out of him. And so he performed, and then he mentioned to us, and he said, yeah, I got this friend of mine whose name is Selina Desire. And the first thing that came to my mind was, ooh, sounds really interesting. Is she, what kind of a person is she? And he said, well, I could bring her by the studio next time I show up. And it was like, well, okay, So I was like, oh, this is going to be great. So I think it was a week after next, he brought her in, and she was something else, man. She dressed up as, it was Wonder Princess. It was one of her costumes. It was Wonder Woman, but she called herself Wonder Princess because she was a big fan, still is, of Wonder Woman. So she came in, and basically we were like, uh-oh, we got to up our game, because we got these two people and they know what they're doing. So me and Joey had to really up our game a lot. So it was great, because the thing about me and Joey that was so great is that we were able to feed off of bounce off each other, for a while, and then that was about it. So when we had these two off, with us, it was like we struck gold. It was like, oh my God, what do we expect from this group now? So anyway, Selina just came in, and she was dancing, and she was into a lot of our skits and just performed really great. And then Sam did a musical number with her called Shake Your Hips, I think, and that was really great. And I loved it. To me, it was really great because when he started doing that and shake your hips, girl, and he was, it was so fun to see those two just working together on a sketch that he was involved with, because me and Joey I was kind of backstage, helping out with all the, the sound and, working with the cameras and doing all that kind of stuff. So it kind of gave us a good break after a while. But man, I gotta tell you, and then he had the character, I don't know what the character's name was, but it was something like death and all. But that was great because when we were cutting loose, he would get into that costume and just, I was like going, hey man, it's trying to steal my thunder. No, but it was great. I loved it because it was something different. And the one thing that me and Joey both agreed on about the show was being different, bringing in different characters. Like for me, it was the Christmas Drunk Frog, Bad Boy Breeze, Torg the Headhunter, and creating this atmosphere. For Joey, it was the Bat Poet, and then he went Joey Boker, and then there was the Roach Poet, which he tried to fly that one off, but I don't know. It was good for about a couple of seasons. But anyway, getting back to Selina and Rich, Selina actually helped me out on a project that I did with a guy named Dave Cloud. And it was part of a sketch that I had originally written out, and I brought the great Dave Cloud in. And if you guys don't know who Dave Cloud was, he was essentially a really big name in the underground. And he wasn't like really big as far as in Nashville or in the United States, but over in another country, yeah, he was big over there. So Selina came over and I gave her the script and I said, we're just going to shoot this little section right here and see what we can do with it. And she did phenomenally well when she was reading it. I was really impressed with her acting abilities, and it was like, Selina, you're just, you're a natural on this. Thank goodness. She's not just a pretty face, folks. She's an accomplished actress as well, and I'm proud of you, Selina. And I thank you so much for participating in, our goofiness and wild and wacky stuff, and I hope to work with her sometime down the road, What I want to say about these people is they were a force to reckon with together. And Selina and Rich together, when they worked together on certain sketches that they were with us or with other, or with Joey or especially with Christmas Drunk Frog. Selina with Christmas Drunk Frog, we went nuts on this thing. It was a Christmas show. Selina had dressed up like a nice Christmas Mrs. Claus, a sexy Mrs. Claus. And it was so great because we were just improvising the hell out of it. And I remember I had my hand up there and I was doing Christmas. And I didn't notice it because I think we did have a television screen, but I didn't know how close Christmas was to her cleavage. And I was just like, and then all of a sudden I started looking on the viewer when we had it in front of us, and I was like going, whoa, he's pretty close to that cleavage. And so then what I did is I started shaking him a little bit, and I was like, yeah. And like he was getting really nervous because Selina has this thing that she calls her memory glands, I guess. I don't know. But she calls them the Wonder Twins. Yes, I still remember that, Selina. The Wonder Twins. And she had fun with that. And I enjoyed it too because it gave Christmas, it was a little bit nervous. So I had to make him sound like he's nervous because most of the time he's just drunk and just falling all over the place and doing stupid things. But this time he was a little bit afraid. And can you blame him? Can you blame him when you meet with the Wonder Twins? Selina, yeah. But backstage, we had just a great time. I mean, we were always doing something weird and wacky, and then Selina would come up with this really great idea and bring it out, and Rich did too, and we just created a lot of good scenes with them, and I was so honored to be with these people. We went through a lot of hard times too. I mean, there were some times when we did some outside shootings, and it didn't exactly turn out well, especially, I think it was at a haunted house, and we were trying our best to do something at the haunted house, and things just didn't work out. So we tried to make, the best we can. That was the whole thing. I call it kind of guerrilla video, where you just try to be as creative as possible, under bad circumstances, and we were able to accomplish a lot of that. But when we got in the studio, man, you never would believe the stuff that we were coming up with. I mean, like I said, the suntan tannin and salon was really great, especially if you haven't seen it. It's where we give Christmas Drunk Frog a tan. And we put him in a toaster, and the toaster goes down, and then he comes up. And we had this gorilla, which is a gorilla, and we used that as far as like him being burnt to a crisp. And I just laugh every time I see that. I always laugh my ass off because it was so great. And what was the other one he was in? She was cracking his neck. I remember we had a bottle down below, and one of those plastic bottles that you get, and you twist it, and it sounds like you're breaking your neck or something like that. And we had the bottle underneath, and we had Selina there, and I'm holding the frog, and I'm holding the other one with the bottle. So she's having to twist his head, and we're making the cracking noise with the plastic bottle in there, and it was just phenomenal. I mean, I laughed so hard. It was really great, and there were times like you could hear, like I tried to keep, my laughter down a little bit so I can focus upon what to say, even though it's all improv. But that night I was just sort of like, oh boy, I could feel the laughter coming on, and it was really interesting and all. So anyway, but yeah, like I said, man, I mean, I adore, those guys. I mean, I've got to cut this short because it's going on a little bit too long. But anyway, I just want to say, first of all, because I know she's watching this, Selina, I love you. You guys are great. You and Rich really helped out the show when you got on there, because I never expected you guys to do what you did. And I will be truly grateful for both of you for doing that for us on the show. And I think if Joey was here, he would probably say the same thing. So anyway, that's going to be it for me. And if you ever get a chance to see these two wacky people, give them a hug, give them a high five and tell them they did a great job, because they did. They were phenomenal. Me and Joey, one quick thing before I go. I have uploaded the Here Come the Mummies concert. I had a little bit of a problem. I'm going to try to fix it because it got flagged because of there was a Ring of Fire that came out with Johnny Cash on it, and it was in the background, so I had no control over that. But I'm going to try to see if I can edit that down and have it for you guys, so it looks a lot better, so I don't have to worry about being, and it's not a strike on me. It's just, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I think it's just somebody just bitched about it and just said, hey, it's copyrighted. And I'm like, well, I don't have anything against it. Anyway, gotta go, but I'm going to do hopefully another podcast, maybe next week. It's been really crazy because Thanksgiving's coming up where I'm working at. So I'm going to try my best to see if I can get all this shit done and do another podcast. If I do talk about another one, it'll be a different one. I don't know. I might tell you about the background of the Christmas Drunk Frog. I might talk about Green Man. I might talk about the Hog Man if I get the pictures of him. But whatever I do, you guys are going to be informed. And I like doing these podcasts. I'm just, it's fun. I like doing these. Anyway, I'm not going to waste any more time because it's getting on to 17 minutes. But I want to thank Selina and Rich. If you're watching this, thank you so much for, participating in the slime show. And hopefully we'll get this thing launched and get it going sometime soon. Okay? See you later, guys. Bye.